Hey, the United States is an imperial power spreading our military might everywhere. We have over 1,000 military bases around the world. How many do we have exactly? No one knows because a lot of them are secret. Over 1,000 military installations around the world. And you can't have free college. Anyway, so we've bombed 7 different Muslim countries since 9/11. 7. We've bombed 7 different Muslim countries. Have 7 different Muslim countries bombed us? How many Muslim countries have bombed us? Let me see. 0. None have bombed us. Okay. Hey, turns out now we're bombing Yemen. We started directly. We would just give the arms and bombs to Saudi Arabia, and then they would go bomb them. But we decided, F it. We'll just start doing it. So, yeah, this is from CNN.com. It says the USS Mason was targeted. Was targeted late Wednesday by missiles from territory controlled by the Houthis. Is that how you say it? Houthis?
We'll go with that, yeah.
We'll go with Houthis.
Yeah, I'm on board.
They're a minority Shia group. Yeah, the Houthis. The minority Shia group that has taken control of the swaths of Yemen, including the capital, Sana'a. So that's pretty interesting the way CNN phrases that. They don't say the military claims that the USS Mason was targeted late Wednesday. Why wouldn't they say it that way? Because that's the way they should say it, because I don't know if you know, the military lies all the time. Our government lies all the time. All the time. I don't know if you heard about a thing called the Gulf of Tonkin. Ron Placone, you ever heard of a thing called the Gulf of Tonkin?
I've heard of it, indeed, but let's refresh.
So, Hank?
Oh, you want me to refresh it?
I'm just wondering if you remember that?
Yeah. It's the fake bombing in the Gulf of Tonkin that spurred involvement and increased escalation in Vietnam. That's right.
So we pretended that we were attacked by Vietnam, and we weren't. And so that was the excuse given to ramp up the war in Vietnam, the Gulf of Tonkin. We all know it wasn't true. So that war built on a lie. Oh, wait a minute. The last war in Iraq, also pack of lies. So you would think CNN would be a little more maybe hesitant to just repeat whatever the government tells them, especially since we're now bombing Yemen. It says the USS Mason was targeted late Wednesday. Really? So this minority Shia group trying to take on the United States, are they? Really?
Even just that word is just so vague. Like, what does that mean exactly? Like were they told that? Like, hey, you're targeted.
See, an American destroyer struck 3 sites in Yemen on Thursday, hours after missiles targeted a U.S. warship in the Red Sea for the second time in 4 days. Yeah, they're coming after the U.S. warships. First of all, what are you doing there? Why are we everywhere? Why are we everywhere there's a conflict? We have to insert our military. Why? What are we doing? We're going to straighten out the Middle East? Because we've been straightening it out ever since we invented it. We've been straightening out the Middle East, fixing things. Like how we overthrew a democratically elected government in Iran, installed a puppet. And then when they overthrew him, we set the table for a right-wing takeover in Iran. Oops, we did that. Oopsie. And then when we invaded Iraq, we ended up giving all the power to Iran. Oopsie.
Well,
everything we try to do, it backfires. Go ahead.
Was there a Yemeni warship off United States coasts that was threatening us in some way? Meaning, like, we're all over the world looming, just waiting.
We're in the China Sea.
Yeah.
We're have NATO's going around Russia. We're in Syria. We're in Iraq. We're in Afghanistan. We're Yemen. We're in Yemen. We're in Yemen. Yemen's important.
We're like that creepy guy that lurks at a party, and then when someone's like, hey, that's creepy, we get really defensive.
Like the guy who practices stabbing. That guy.
The strike marks the first instance of the U.S. firing at Houthi targets since the Yemen civil war erupted in March of last year. I'm sure it will fix whatever we're trying to fix. I'm sure but again, we can't get clean water to Flint, but we're going to bomb away our problems in the Middle East. Why don't we just bomb Flint? That's how we fix problems. We bomb them.
Careful planting those seeds, Jimmy. There might be some GOP officials might take you seriously. Why don't we?
The same warship was targeted Sunday when 2 missiles were launched within 60 minutes of each other, but in both incidents they missed. Really? So these Shia minority group inside of Yemen in the middle of a civil war starts to decide, hey, let's pick a fight with the United States. Let's fire missiles at their warships. What could go wrong? But they missed. This is, again, directly from the government that CNN is stenographing. The same warship was targeted Sunday when 2 missiles were launched within 60 minutes of each other, but both incidents, they missed the ship and landed in the water. The guided missile destroyer was not damaged in either incident. Isn't that a lucky break, Ron? What a lucky break.
Yeah.
You mean the poorest country in the world missed us with their missile? The U.S. warship was conducting routine operations. Routine. Again, red flags are going off everywhere. First of all, so we're doing routine stuff. Really? So if Yemen had a warship off of Florida, they could just say we're doing routine stuff and the United States fired on us? The warship is conducting a routine operation in international waters off the Yemen coast when it was targeted Wednesday, the Pentagon said. And I totally believe the Pentagon. I don't know about you guys, but I totally believe the Pentagon. I totally believe the Pentagon. When would they lie except all the time? That's the only time the Pentagon will lie is as if there's all the time.
Yeah, there's nothing messed up about something that's 5-side shapes. I screwed that
Pentagon?
up. Yeah, that's hinting at the pentagram and just how messy.
That's a tough. You try to do math and jokes.
Yeah,
it's tough, especially that's got a little geometry to it.
I tried to talk and think at the same
Angles.
time. Yeah,
geometry was my best math subject. I got a B.
And the occult mixed in
Miss
there.
Plaskanka was my teacher.
Oh, Lady Plaskanka.
Her name changed the year I had her. She was something Miss Tipping, and then she got married over the summer, and she was Miss Plaskanka.
Ooh, boy, he should have taken her name.
No kidding.
Yeah, Tipping's way better.
Yeah.
Miss Tipping is a pretty name. Miss Plaskanka.
What a catch.
But she was a good. She taught.
Taught you math surgery.
Geometry. I was able to pick up. She taught it well.
All right.
I couldn't. None of the algebra, trigonometry.
Yeah,
I didn't even know I got access to the test. They only had 2 tests all year in trigonometry. I got access to them. I didn't even know what I was writing.
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing. I got a C. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it's
so
like
getting back
wizardry.
to this story, the Houthis have denied carrying out the attacks. Oh, I bet they're lying. I bet it's the lie. I bet the people with no power going up against a superpower. I bet they are picking a fight. Oh, my God. Hey, so, again, the war machine, how are you going to pay for that? Nobody ever said, hey, how are you going to pay for that bombing in Yemen? Well, how are you going to pay for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like that's something unaffordable like healthcare or college. You know, when it comes to defense, it's, that's an economical pursuit we have here.
You know, what do they drop? What do one of those bombs cost? $2 million? Then they just dropped 3 of them? I don't know. It's something, right?
If we don't blow up Yemen rebels, we're not going to have free speech. You know, that we can't kneel during the flag.
They were on
singing.
their way here.
Yeah.
They were. I mean, they're not going to show up now.
So there is no anti-war movement in America. We're in the middle of the longest war in our history. No one gives a crap. By the way, it's lost. We lost Afghanistan. It's over. Whatever that means. Whatever that means, we lost. Whatever that means. I don't know what we were trying to do. Win. We got rid of the Al Qaeda in like 5 seconds, and then we stayed. And now we're here forever. We've been in bombing Afghanistan for 15 years. 5 more years, we get a gold watch.